take care of my disabled family if something happens in my house. I don't think it's right that you took the lieutenant position away that was voted on 2 years ago, and now you're cutting their pay too. They got family members and families to support as well. You know, you used to be a paid member here. You know what it's like. You needed a couple extra dollars to help take care of your family. That's why you did what you enjoyed what you did.
I did that volunteer.
You never got paid.
Oh, I got paid.
That's what I'm saying.
I didn't do it for the phone. I'll say everybody else that one. Anyone else? I would like to say I appreciate y'all coming. Please show we do have some business or interested in what's going on with our fire district. We do need volunteers. I'll say that now and have been saying that for a long time. We need volunteers. More than we need paid. I mean, that's how this district was built, on volunteers. Been said, no one else has any comments? Questions? No, we can't force anybody to volunteer.
Yeah, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you just can't bring people in off the streets and then if you have a fire, send them out to put out fires. I mean, they have to know something. They don't know how to do it.
Why we do LSU training? This district was formed on volunteers. That's what it was originally. It was that way for 8 or 9 years, strictly volunteers. And they were trained by LSU.
If all these men and ladies leave, you know, how are you going to train up a good group soon enough to, have a fire department that
And we would need to start. Start working out this district. How we start. Get to the point where there's so much between paid people and volunteers that it's work. The lieutenant position will never feel proper.
What friction was it between paid people and volunteers?
Pardon?
What friction was between the paid people and volunteers?
You say there's friction between the paid people and volunteers. What friction are you talking about? Because there is none that we know of. Give us an itemized list of the friction that's going on.
To be honest with you, lately I don't know.
Okay then. Then what gives you the right to say there's friction going on when you have no clue?
I've just known what's going on in the past. It may not be that.
The past is the past, Bart. This is the present.
Okay.
What friction is going on to this day between paid people and volunteers?
I hear that the paid people kind of treat the volunteers like nobodies. Like they don't know.
If we treat them like nobodies, then why is there people up here off the clock spending the weekend, spending their off time from their job instead of being at home? Why is there people spending time up
I'm
here?
not seeing everybody treated that way. But
Well, there's also been a lot of times when volunteers come up here and the paid guys, we did training in these bays. We set up ladders, we put people in full turnout gear. You know, did search patterns, did hose lays on the front pad with the paid guys showing. Prime example, Ben was the one that took, I think, 3 or 4 volunteers through a search thing with a blacked out mask on and turnout gear. right here in this back. Because they asked him to.
We got volunteers up here on their days off asking us, can we do training? Can we do this? Can we do that? Yeah, sure, we don't have a problem.
That's great.
Okay, so you're contradicting yourself.
That's what we need. The lieutenant position, as I said, was not properly filled.
How was it not properly filled?
Because it was not brought before the board.
Y'all voted on it.
We voted to create the position, we never voted to fill it. It was never brought back before the board to fill the position.
But that's not the firefighter's fault. That's the board's fault.
No.
And
No,
now
it's not the board's fault, we never voted on it.
there is, documentation that you voted on it.
That's right, we voted to create the position.
We voted to create the position, we created the SOPs, but it was never brought before the board to promote anyone to that position.
It says it right
Okay,
in the
then
SOP.
why did y'all approve for them to be paid for it?
We did,
If
that's the whole point of it. We did.
We did. They were
Fire
paid
chief
for
gave it to
a
them.
period of time without,
But why did y'all wait 2 years to take it away from them when it should have been taken away the next vote? I
We didn't
mean,
we
realize.
weren't aware of it.
Then why wasn't it corrected?
But you were board members, y'all have opportunities to get your hands on all documentation
That's
at
what
all
we did.
times.
And we did get our hands on it.
Why didn't y'all
Two
correct
years
it?
Learned it.
Why didn't y'all correct it?
We just did.
2 years after the fact.
Well, unfortunately, that's when we were made aware of it.
Whatever we were made aware of, we brought it to the chief's attention to give him opportunity to find in our minutes where it was brought before the board to vote to fill those positions. He did show us where the position was created, the position, the SOPs were set up for it, but it was still never brought before the board to promote anyone to the position of lieutenant. After we found out about it, we gave him a period of time, a couple of months, I think a month, to do the research. It was a 2-3 month process before we did away with the position.
Why didn't y'all just vote them in?
It wasn't brought before the board that way.
Y'all can't do it as a board? I mean, you can't ask the, say last month, instead of just demoting them all together, why don't y'all get together and say, well, instead of demoting the position, taking the pay, how about we just go ahead and promote them the right way and go ahead and fix it and move on?
Because it was done the wrong way.
Can't fix it?
So was it done the wrong way, or was it done because of friction between personnel? Because at first you said it was done away because of friction that we were unaware of. Now it's because it wasn't done right. Which one is it?
One, it wasn't done properly.
I'd like to speak.
Yeah.
Opportunity arises. I want to, first of all, appreciate the opportunity to say anything. As a former board member, served for 5 years on this committee, I am a tax-paying citizen. I live in the parish. I pastor a church. Been pastoring about 24 years there. We pay taxes as a homeowner. We pay insurance as a church. I do have some knowledge about the process that took place with the lieutenant. I do have some questions on behalf of the taxpayer. I'm not here representing who I work for. I'm here representing myself and my family as a taxpayer, so I want to make sure that's clear. The question I do have about the demotion of these individuals, and I understand a couple of reasons why it's been stated that they've been demoted. Number one, there was friction between volunteers and paid. And then, secondly, it was done improperly. So the questions I would like to raise is, first of all, this, knowing what is necessary in order for a fire department to be successful, those positions were created, and I was part of that meeting. They were created in order to form some structure in this fire department to help alleviate problems that were taking place between some paid personnel and the volunteers on scene safety, on incident command, and that sort of thing. That's why they were created to begin with. It was given as to who was going to be appointed because we only had 3 employees at the time. Now, as far as the question of it being improperly done, I don't have a bit of problem with somebody finding claims of which it might have been done improperly, as you say. But the question is, it's already been posed, if it was done improperly, and if we believe that there needs to be structure in the parish fire department, why did not this board go ahead and do it the right way, just like we did when Chief Foster was put into position? We went back under the direction of the district attorney. We've done it right, properly, according to Robert's rules, and we did it the right way. So the question that's been left in the minds of the people of the parish is, why wasn't it done right, unless it was just to alleviate those positions altogether? And if it wasn't for a financial reason, then for what reason was it done? My question, first of all, why didn't you just go ahead and make it right? If you said it was done wrong, and you believe in structure for the fire department, every one of you that work jobs, you got structure on your job. You got supervisors, you got bosses, you got vice presidents, you got presidents that determine a chain of command. A fire department will not work without a chain of command. And so to think that you would not go ahead and make it right is a question that all of us would like an answer to.
In the meeting where it was brought up, the motion was made, seconded, and voted on. Since the position had been created for, I think, close to 2 years, had not been filled, to eliminate the position. And the raise went with it. Voted on, motion second, vote, 3 yeas, 2 abstains, so it carried. That was the wishes of the board. It was I can't say any one particular reason, but it was, part of it was, one, that it was never filled, it was never done as it should have been, it was never brought before the board to promote anybody. Secondly, it's a financial, savings for us, and our biggest expense is our payroll.
So has anybody done the math on what the parish is saving by taking that raise away from them? Has anybody done the math on this board?
Not sit down and.
I don't understand that. Nobody's done the math.
Well,
Nobody said this is what we're gonna save. We just said we're gonna take it away from them. We're gonna take food off of their tables, and we're not gonna give them this $1 an hour raise or whatever it was. But nobody even done the math to see what you're gonna save. That don't even make sense to me. As a taxpayer, it does not even make sense to me that you would do something like that. Now let me ask you this. Does this board not believe that a fire department needs structure? You work in the field that structure is required. What happens if structure is not present? People get hurt.
Yeah.
People get killed. So why would this board want to vote to take away structure from this department? I'm a taxpayer here. I understand everything about Property Insurance Association. You know, that's another question that we've just gone through a rating as a parish. You know, I would be interested to know how much this board has spent in putting time into learning what that property insurance rating schedule is all about and what is required for this parish to be able to succeed with that rating. Because if you don't know what it is, it's hard to govern this district not knowing what it is. And one of those things is personnel.
That's your biggest thing.
That's your biggest thing. And it's the most
No
costly.
Senate is no part.
There's no doubt about it. That's
The
right.
question has been
That's
raised.
right. But
Whether
you
it's
got
the
involved.
lieutenant's position going to affect our rating, and the answer to that, no.
No.
The lieutenant position will not affect your rating 1%.
That's incorrect. An officer's position will affect your rating in some shape, form, fashion. An officer's position of any capacity. But it leaves question as to why structure is not wanted here. It leaves question as to, in the past, there has been positions that were demoted and the pay was left in place. The question is, why didn't you leave the pay in place? There were members on this board then that are still here now. So what do you mean by previous board?
That was done under the previous, who was here that was there?
John? But again, it just leaves a question to the taxpayers as to why it wasn't done right, if you thought it was done wrong, if that's the reason. And if it was a financial statement, if it was a financial reason, nobody on this board can tell me how much money I saved as a taxpayer by taking money away from their table. It just doesn't make sense to me. I appreciate the time to voice my opinion on that.
Thanks, sir.
Mark, I have a question. Okay, we're talking about you take money from one to the other, but how is it fair that you take it from these guys and you still left one still making the same pay that they were?
On a promotion.
Cause there's one still here that didn't lose his position or anything, but he still makes money, good money. And I'm just asking, how is that fair? Because I am not saying that you guys, that I thought y'all should lose your money, by no means. But if one has to lose it, then they all should have lost it.
One, in question that you're talking about, was the one that was done under the previous administration. His money was there. Okay. Personally, I'm with you. I don't see that he should be making that much more than the rest of me, but that's the way it was set up. The pay raise that was granted without permission is what we removed. So fair? No, nothing's fair. It's not fair that I work for 10 or 12 years and somebody gets hired and makes the same money I do that day. But that's the way it is in some jobs. It's not fair that people do the same job, some make more, some make less. The thing about it is, whenever they take a job here, or you take a job anywhere, you know what you're getting paid whenever you accept the job, correct?
Correct.
If that's not satisfactory, you don't take the job. If it is,
But at the same token, if you're demoted because maybe you did something wrong and your boss says, hey, we're gonna demote you for 6 months, you gonna keep your same rate of pay? No. No corporation out here does that.
that's what we did. But like I say, the other was, another administration, I didn't have anything, I wasn't on the board, I don't know what all was happening at that time.
I would like to know how much money was saved, as a taxpayer, I'd like to know how much money was saved, since nobody done any math on that. I'd like somebody to get back with me.
As a taxpayer, you're gonna pay the same tax, no matter what we pay in payroll.
You're right, you're exactly right, but it's still my right to know that information. Is that right? Is that correct?
Yep.
This board made the decision to make a move and interfere with people's lives, and I can almost guarantee you that the gentlemen that are working, that are sitting at this table probably make 50 to 100% more per paycheck than those guys do. And yet, this board cannot tell me how much money the district is saving by the move that you make. It makes no sense to
It's
me.
not about saving.
That's what it said.
I don't know what he said, but I'm telling you, it's not about saving. It was inappropriately allocated funds.
Okay? So why wasn't it appropriately?
That's a great question. Why did the fire chief not bring it in front of the board? That's a great question.
So
That's a question for him.
When it was found, then why wasn't it done right?
That's a great question. Why did he not? It says in the SOP that he will bring it in front of the board. He never did. So, I mean,
So you corrected it by taking it away.
I didn't. No. But
So
I'm just
the
saying,
board-
that's
the
the
board took it
facts.
away.
The facts are, it was inappropriate. Inappropriate use of tax dollars.
Okay.
Bottom line.
So it's been taken away, it's been alleviated. Now why not make it right and put the positions back in place and pay the men back what they were paid?
They made a motion last week. They were gonna
file a petition. It can be brought back before the board to recreate.
And you're gonna deny it as a board.
Well, we can't tell you
I
that.
can't tell you what the board's gonna do.
You have every right to bring it back in front of the board. Just like he had every right to bring the positions in front of the board and actually do it the proper way. But it was never done the proper way.
Do y'all believe there should be a structure in the department?
I absolutely think. Absolutely.
So
That's why we
why don't
voted
we
it in to
right
start.
now make it right, give everybody their money back and
Because there's times where the fire chief's not at the station and the phone rings with somebody in need or a question's asked, or slim times that he don't respond to the call, whether he's out of town. Who's in charge?
Well, according to this commander, whoever shows up the same.
Okay, but you got, right now, or you had lieutenants, we all work together, we all could make a decision, collaborate with each other, and you also gotta worry about span of control. It states how many people could be, working under somebody safely. One person can't manage 50 people in the fire scene.
We take that 50 people.
Volunteers are low there, I mean, it's a nationwide problem, no volunteers.
Couldn't find it. We had 50 people.
But how was the decision?
Okay, let's say
made?
10, span of control says 5.
How was the decision made without the guys being present? Don't they have to be present when y'all discuss them and their pay?
We weren't discussing an individual.
Y'all discussed it, but y'all took it away from them, and then they heard through the grapevine of what just happened. I mean, just my opinion, they should have been there, if you're gonna talk about them.
They had every right to be there.
But we didn't get a formal written letter saying y'all was gonna discuss our name in an open meeting.
I don't think we discussed your name. We discussed the position.
Do we have to go back, listen to the recording from last month that y'all did not bring our name up? Bring mine and Ben Murphy's name up in an open meeting? I know you didn't because you abstained, but I'm talking about the rest of the board.
Whenever the names were brought up, it was, the question was about what they have been paid. And I asked, are we gonna make them pay it back, or, what's the board?
But that's still discussing about them in an open meeting where people from the public were there, heard you discussing it.
can I ask a personal question? Any one of y'all, Mark, Brett, anybody, if your boss come to you tomorrow and say, hey, Mark, I paid you $200 too much, I'm gonna take it back next month, you wouldn't fight that at all? You wouldn't have a word to say?
No, if it was a mistake, I'm getting paid. No, it was, just like if somebody gives me $1 too much change at Walmart, I'm gonna give it back to them. I mean, that's me.
I'm just asking a question.
But no, I just got my pay cut, and I found out about my resignation. So,
Well, I'm just saying, it's wrong. The way this was done was wrong. No matter whose fault it was.
I got one more and I'll leave it alone. I was wondering how you can be in another public position and be on the board.
what other public position?
Are you not a constable? How can you be on the board?
I had Tom Montgomery, he was the fire chief, and he was on the board for 5 years.
It's not a conflict of interest.
It's not a conflict of interest, is it?
Well, mine's not elected position.
It's a public position, I think.
It's different.
It's not an elected official.
And of course, this board sent a review letter into the ethics board, and you guys read something as well, which those of you that were involved in that discussion with our police jury president, by the way, as well, know that.
Jason, have a PIAL update.
Quickly, they were here last Monday morning. We reviewed in depth all the paperwork. They went to every station, inventoried every truck. Found a few very minor things on the inventory, nothing consequence. But the water hauling, they had given me 2 weeks a period of time to complete, the water hauling category. They had said we can video that for the first time. This is a nod to the COVID-19, social distancing. So, we have that process until the 24th or 25th of July to get all of the, water hauling done. I've accomplished 4 of them so far. We'll be bringing an individual truck in here, video in the process. I'll forward all that information to him. As far as how things went, I can't tell you. It was a process, it was an in-depth process. It was eye-opening to me. I think I finally understood PIL is a private company. And they're paid by the insurance companies. And they govern municipal departments. And I'll just leave that statement hanging. They're a private company who sets a fire rating, who the insurance companies then set your homeowner's insurance on. I never had a full grasp of that, but he stated it in such a way that it finally hit to where I understood it, and my question is why. But there's nothing I can do about that at this point, and I don't know that y'all can either. But it's for what it's worth. Just want to let y'all know that we are proceeding as planned. He said at 60 to 90 days we should have our rating back. There's a possibility of it being quicker than that. He's on vacation until the time he gave me for the videoing part. When he comes back, if he does his information quickly, it could be as little as 3 or 4 weeks. But he did say 60 to 90 days, which that means that's the 1st of September or the 1st of October, either one. 5 years ago, that's when we got it 5 years ago. But that's just what I know about. I thought maybe y'all might want to know where we stand on PIL. Been a lot said and done about it. But we're progressing and constantly optimistic on how it goes. Do you know any questions? Did you have any question about the PIL process?
Still water hauling, y'all doing it out here?
He gave us the opportunity to set the pond up and leave it, and just bring the individual trucks by. All he wants is just to video what we do, and video the fact that the tank pump is closed. We are in fact taking water out of the pond. We are discharging it from the truck. That's all he wants to know. We accomplished the 5-minute time limit at the high school, and we videoed that as well. Only one time did we have to film the entire process. We did that in 3 minutes and 55 seconds, I think. To completely roll up on the scene, drop the pond, put the water, put the suction, flow water, 3 minutes and 55 seconds, we had it done.
Come a long way from back when you had to have 27 trucks parked on the side of 167.
Yeah, well, of course now,
126.
5 years ago, they allowed you, 5 years ago, they do it virtually. They put the trucks out here and take a stopwatch. And at so many minutes, the next tanker's allowed to roll in. They did that to relieve this possible safety issues of driving around for a test. So at the worst, we would have had to do that. But this makes it a whole lot easier, because every time you do that, you put the pond up every time. He's been helpful in this one. But, yeah, I don't see any problem with that at all. It's just a simple matter of pumping the truck and going on to the next one. But I'll have that completed in the time frame he specified. I'll give all that information to him. And at that point, he just was
all we like as far as what he needs to do that.
all the questionnaire, we went through it. He went through it page by page. And that's what he's supposed to do. And I feel like he gave him everything he needed. There was some questions about if what the results were, I guess. But I mean, he left here satisfied with the information he had, with the direction to do what I just explained we're going to do. So I believe we're on the right track.
agenda is the lease agreement for the Lane Road repeater.
At the last meeting, y'all brought that up. I talked to the sheriff. The tower that's at the prison right now is where we were years ago. That tower fell 6 years ago. 5 years ago, we moved to the Lane Road repeater and have been there ever since. The lease, it was gonna increase this time. I've talked to the sheriff. He says, right now, we can move from Lane Road to the prison and immediately use his antenna and his speed line to get us off the Lane Road completely. In the process of talking to him, he's decided he would like to build a 350-foot tower at his expense and locate it at the Saline Lake Station. He'll build the tower, the fence, the generator. We'll supply the electricity. I don't have that on here for any kind of decision. That's just information available for y'all to think about. That's old business, what does they actually, but that'll be new business. When it actually comes time, he'll supply more information than I've got right now. I believe he talked to you a little bit about it.
Is that on Forest Service land that?
Well, it's on the fire valve?
It's on land we got leased.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's from. It might be on us.
It's on, you turn off of 84 right there at Lakeshore Drive.
On that Lane Street.
I was gonna say, you'd be paying a permit fee, an annual fee on us.
Have to check into that.
Well, and
I
that's-
think it may have been.
I told my Florida, I mean, we have to report, so that's the thing, it's on Forest Service, it's like a year before that's gonna get built, so.
Well, he'll run all those rabbits to ground. In the meantime, if that's the will, we'll move the repeater quickly. I did some checking about taking the feed line down and the antenna, and everybody I checked with just laughed and said, the best thing you can do is just leave it there. It's not worth it financially to climb that tower and recover all that. It's been out there 5 years. The best thing we can do is just give it up in place. Again, that's it, whatever y'all like to do. I said it's just not worth, it's potentially it'd be as expensive to take it down as it was to put it up. And on top of all that, it's been there for 5 years. No telling there's nothing wrong as far as we know. But, if this is where y'all wanna go, just abandon that in place, move temporarily to the prison with the prospect of going, possibly to a better location sometime when he gets his, ironed out. He was gonna pay for it as the sheriff's department. All it would cost, the fire district would be the electricity at the Saline Lake Station.
And getting our antenna.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, our feed line and antenna, yes, I'm sorry. Probably that would be somewhere in the $4,000 to $5,000 range, but that would be a one-time charge, and that'd be it.
So, at the prison right now, there is an antenna and a wire already there?
That's on his VHF high band. When it collapsed those years ago, when it was put back up, we were already moved to Lane Road, so we didn't put ours back, but he did. And now he's willing to let us use it to get us off, Lane Road.
So he's not using that one at all?
He's fixing to rebuild that system, which is why he wants to build a tower on the Saline Lake, for height. It'll be a 350 foot. The prison right now is 200 feet. Lane Road was 480, which was ideal, but we've already discussed that. Oh, and then they called one day last week and said they would graciously let us leave it there for the same amount of money we were paying. But I think that dog don't hunt anymore, I don't believe. I think the process is to go ahead and move forward with that. So I'll bring more information to you about if you do want to have him access to the land, whether it's Forest Service land or not, that's information
I
I
won't
think.
say that's private land there because.
I don't know.
I don't know of any Forest Service right there around it. We're right there around the store.
Oh, by the store?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's not Forest Service. We just sold off all the Collins Smith too. So, this is the closest Forest Service.
Unless you got a question, it'll be more coming up later. We'll act as directed so far for the last meeting. I'll take care of that, and then I'll bring you more information as it becomes available.
I think that's gonna be a good deal for us. We put the antenna up there for 1 year's lease.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. Well, and that is, not asking for a vote, do you think that the fire district as a whole, and I realize you can't vote right now, is it a plan that would go through? Because he's taking action, I guess he kinda needs to know, where we're going. But it's not gonna happen before next meeting.
Right.
If nothing else, I put it on the next meeting for new business action item at the next meeting. Give you time to think about it and to make some inquiries on some information. So if that's what you'd like to do, that's what I'll do.
That sounds reasonable there.
That's all I've got.
Alright, next item on the agenda is approval of minutes of the June 8th meeting.
Make a motion to approve the minutes, June 8th, 2020 meeting.
Have a motion and a second, we approve the minutes for the June 8th, 2020, regular meeting. All,
Was that June 8th or June the 20th? He's got, on the 15th, he's got the 15th on there, and I don't know, was it the 8th or the 15th?
It says minutes of
15th, well,
the
it says
8th.
15th. Okay.
I've got the 8th of June here.
According to the minutes, it's
But
the
on the
15th.
minutes, he's got the 20th, or the 15th. He's got the 15th on the minutes, I've got the 8th. I think the calendar, what it was.
It's been on the
It
8th.
was June the 8th.
It's been on the 8th.
If you'll allow me, I'll make the correction to the hard copy minutes. I'll make that correction for June the 8th, not June the 15th.
Okay, motion for the board, in a second, that we approve the minutes for the June 15th meeting. June 8th meeting, I'm sorry. I'm reading the wrong one. June 8th meeting, Winn Parish Fire District. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Next item is approval of the June, financial statement. Again, Harry, I appreciate you sending that information ahead in the emails. It sure helps us, gives us a chance to look over it before we get here. Any questions? Is there a motion for approval of the financial statement? Your second? Motion second to approve the, June 2020 financial statement. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is SCBA tank testing.
I received a call from the vendor we used last time, reminded me that the 5 years is up on the cylinders for the SCBA's. It's a once every 5 year test. He came here last year, 5 years ago, sat right there by that bay and tested all of our SCBA tanks for us. There are certain requirements that they have to contend with. If it fails anything, he drills holes in it. He marks it unusable from that point. It's a DOT requirement. I think OSHA's involved in there, and probably the NFPA. There's probably several agencies that mandate that those tanks be tested once every 5 years. We have a mixture of steel, aluminum, and composite. All three of them fall back to every 5 years. Some of them have an unlimited life as long as they pass the 5 year test. We won't know about that until he comes and does it. I've got a price. He quoted $5,400. He did it 5 years ago for less than that. I was pressing him for a price, and he didn't have everything on his fingertips at the time, so he made it higher than what it would be. I feel like it'd be closer to $4,000, but it would be a maximum of $5,402 for that. And I checked with, there's only one other place that I can find in the state of, there's one place in the state of Louisiana that I can find that does it. This fellow here is in Lindsay, Texas. We had used him before, completely satisfied with his work before. That's just a recommendation that we go forward with that. We have about 172 models, I think.
And that's total.
Oh, yeah, that's the spares. There should be 8 per truck, one on each harness, one, in 4 spares, and just all over the parish. That should be, I don't think we have that much anymore, but, that's the maximum we would have, and that's the maximum cost. But like I said, we could, from a safety standpoint, do that.
Chief Foster and I talked earlier today about this too, and, looking at our expenses, just so everyone's aware, so we're about 55% of our expenditures versus what's planned. So I thought we were doing pretty good. What did you say, 5,000?
Yes, it's 400.
5,400. I mean, already as planned, we're 5,400, net operating income. So, we had some wiggle room there already to start with.
And our percent budget used so far this year is, although we have 6 months behind us, we're less than half of it spent year to date. So there is room. I apologize if it was not budgeted in I didn't put that as a line item. I actually forgot, because it had been 5 years. But, that's,
Oh, yeah, 45% spent, 55%
left for the remainder of the year.
Well, it's gotta be done on this, it's a requirement. Make a motion, what's the name of that company?
The name of the company is Firehouse Hydrostat Services LLC from Lindsay, Texas.
We used them before.
Yes.
Make a motion, we allow them to come in and do our SCBA tank test.
I'll second.
Motion second, we have, name,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Firehouse.
Firehouse Hydrostat Services LLC.
Come in and do our SCBA tank testing. All those, in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign? Carries, so we'll get them all. The next item is the harness testing.
SCBA harnesses. Did you see what I did, please, when you're on? Again, we've had that done, we did not have it done last year. We're looking to save money last year, so for doing it last year. We're paying for that a little bit now. There are a few things going wrong. Mark and I talked about it, and the O-rings are one of the issues, but there's also an issue that I checked with them today. There is a pressure issue. There's more to it than just replacing the O-rings, which we can't get a supply of O-rings, and we can't take care of that ourselves. We don't get to pay him to put O-rings in. But there's a pressure test that goes with that. That he checks all the internal mechanisms to the mask and everything. Their price for that is $3,500, all inclusive for everything in the parish.
Is that the same company?
No, this is Casco. That is 3/4. We use Casco for a lot of our material. And again, they've done it for the last 5 years, with the exception of last year. And budget crunch last year, just let that one go.
So everything on the harness?
Yes, everything.
How much was that?
$3,500.
Make a motion to allow Casco to do the harness test.
Motion from Mr. King, second from Mr. O'Brien, we allow Casco to do the SBA harness testing. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed, like sign. That passes. Get them over.
Right, thank you.
Next item is details on the new tankers.
This is just information. There was some talk about doing it or not doing it. Requested to get some information. We'll pass it around. You see all 3 different versions of it. It'll be up to y'all if y'all want to have anything done. The cheapest version is just putting the truck number on the truck and then the name on both sides where the tank is, and that's $891 per truck. The other 2 are with the American flag, is more expensive. That's $12.94 per truck.
Is there anything to play as far as a little smaller flag or?
Could be.
I mean, I don't think it has to be panel.
It's, of course, you can see in the picture his idea of the size.
It looks pretty large. I mean, it could come down to size.
And we can
I
put,
like it with the flag, right?
Up front, I don't like it in the back.
See, I like it big. I can live with it. I'll live with it.
Well, and a possibility is maybe just putting Winn Parish Fire District a little bit lower, putting a truck